at Cowboys at Falcons. So, for those of you who know me, I am biased to the Falcons. One of the reasons I picked this game. They're a good team now. They're a good team. They're 5-3. They're good. So we get to talk about them finally. The Cowboys, though, are not so good. It's a bad time to be a Cowboys fan. They are 3-4 right now. They really, really, really need to start winning, especially in a division where a division that has the Commanders and the Eagles, who are seemingly, Commanders are red hot. The Eagles are seemingly getting their groove back. So they need to pad the win column to make sure they can at least try and get a wild card, because it doesn't seem like they're going to win the division. So Cowboys travel to Atlanta to play the Falcons. The Falcons are a 2.5-point home favorite against the Cowboys team that just lost in a close one to the 49ers. Thought they may pull off that comeback, but didn't happen. So, Beej, this Cowboys defense is one of the worst defensive units that the boys have seen in a really, really long time. They're 29th overall in EPA per play allowed. They're 19th overall in success rate allowed. They're 32nd in passing yards per attempt. They're 26th in rushing yards per game. So they're not very efficient. They can't get anything on the ground. This ATL, the Atlanta defense, you can actually exploit them too. But the offense, they're firing hot. They just dropped 30 on a Bucs team who I think is actually better than Dallas. Now we'll see if guys like Micah Parsons come back. So that obviously changes everything. But the thing that we're circling here is, can this Dallas defense do anything? Anything. It seems like if they can do anything, get one or two key crucial stops in important moments of the game, then it gives their offense a fighting chance. But they can't even do that. So against the Falcons team, who has a great 1-2 punch out of Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, and then Kirk Cousins is continually getting better in the passing game with strong weapons like Drake London, Darnell Mooney, and then Kyle Pitts finally having a resurgence year. Do you think that the Cowboys can generate any sort of defensive production to set up their offense, or do you think might get a bit ugly? What are your thoughts?
I mean, they're just terrible on both sides of the ball. They rushed for 56 yards against the 49ers. Whole game.
That's bad.
It's not a half. It's not a quarter.
And I mean,
that's the whole
Rico
game.
Dowdle, he, was out with an illness at the last minute. Now, I mean, still, you got to do better than that. And Rico Dowdle is not a game breaker, even though he's technically the starter. He's not a game breaker, but got to do better.
There's just no explosive plays.
And Beach, I wanted to maybe save this, but in your opinion, because I have a thought on this, do you think Mike McCarthy is now coaching for his job?
Yes, especially because it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think
of course he is.
I think if the Cowboys miss the playoffs this year, McCarthy's done. Plain and simple.
It needs to be. It needs to be gone.
Yeah.
But I've said this. I said at the beginning of the season, they're going to go as far as CeeDee Lamb takes them. And it's really hard for one player to take a team to wins. So, they can't stop anybody. I think the Falcons are going to run all over them. I think the Falcons will cover the 2.5 at home. There's nothing here that'll tell me otherwise from what the season has shown so far. I mean, they didn't lose as bad as they did to the Lions pretty by, but I really don't have anything. On their side.
The projections have Falcons -3, so same thing as what Vegas has. But you're right. I think if this defense can't stop the Falcons, which seems probabilistically likely to happen given the pass play, and the offense, unless they are uber efficient and can generate scoring plays virtually every single drive, it seems like an uphill battle. It seems like a losing battle. And so the defense for Atlanta is nothing to scream about either. They're 23rd overall in EPA per play. They're 27th overall in success rate allowed. So they're very exploitable. They're also not generating any sort of pass rush. They're 30th overall in pass rushes, pressures generated on the defense, only averaging 4.7 quarterback pressures per game. not good for the Falcons. So if you're a Cowboys fan, you're really hoping on not necessarily your defense stopping them, but your offense keeping up and potentially being efficient enough to win you this game. It could easily be a team with the ball last is the team that's going to win kind of scenario. So that was kind of how the Bucs game was last week. It almost felt like that as well. Thankfully, the Falcons defense prevailed, had some turnovers against Baker Mayfield, and we're hoping for that same performance against the Cowboys. But I do think that is one thing as a Falcons fan I'm worried about, not having enough defensive production against this Cowboys offense. Now, like you said, they're a little lean in terms of talent on the offensive side of the ball. They do have Ferguson back and healthy, but it's just so easy to key on CeeDee Lamb and kind of almost, put your sole focus in that. Now, teams do that, and he still goes off for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's that good, but we'll see what gives in terms of these two defenses. So the winner of this game is going to be the defense that steps up, creates the most turnovers, and makes the most big plays, period.
I just think the Cowboys are way too one-dimensional. I think you can't win that way, especially mixed with the defense that is just anemic.
It is.
It is bad. You can't win.
No. It's time for McCarthy to go.